Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today I'm playing Red Dead Online and we're doing another character creation video. Today's character is the historical Bass Reeves, a famous lawman of the Wild West. So we're going to be doing this like we usually do. We're going to show you the weapons that he used, we're going to show you how to make his historically accurate outfit, and then we're going to show you the facial character creation, so how to make your character actually look like the real life Bass Reeves, at least as best as I could. So if at any point during this video you find yourself enjoying it, be sure to click that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, as you'll be helping the channel grow, and it's the only way that you can see more content like this in the future. So if you like this, you'll probably like that, so it makes sense to subscribe. With all that in mind, we're going to dive on in and start off with weapons. Alright, so basically there's one iconic firearm that we can associate with Bass Reeves, and it's his Colt single-action army revolver. Reportedly, he used this for the vast majority of his career, and it would be his primary weapon. So if you want to make it look like it does now, because we still have it, it's in a museum, so we still have pretty good high-definition pictures of this revolver, and this is exactly what it looks like right now. So if you want to design it like this, you're going to want to do short barrel, improved rifling, improved sights, the ebony grip, then no carvings, no engravings, and the metal for it should look just like this. So the barrel, cylinder, frame, and sight should all be brown steel, and the trigger and the hammer should be blackened steel. And if you do that, it looks pretty much exactly like the gun looks like to this day. Now that being said, it's extremely likely that it was a darker blackened steel initially, so you can also make it look like that if you want to try going for Bass Reeves in his prime before the revolver was all wore out. And if you're doing it like that, it's most likely that it looked something like this. So we're again going to do the short barrel, improved rifling, improved sights, ebony grip, no carvings, no engravings, but this time we're going to change two of the metals. The barrel and the cylinder should be blackened steel. And the reason we're going for this is because this is typically how these guns would look. You had basically two factory finish styles, or I should say three, because there was always a nickel-plated option, but the two most common styles for a Colt single-action army revolver back then were either blued steel with a color case-hardened frame, or a more blackened steel look, and when you had that, the frame would be slightly lighter like this. So if you want to imitate it, do blackened steel for the barrel, the cylinder, the hammer, and the trigger, and then brown steel for the sight and the frame. Either one of those styles is going to look a lot like his gun, so you can go with either of them. One of them is just what it exactly looks like now, and the other one is what it likely looked like when he first bought it. Alright, and then for one other weapon that A, it's pretty certain that he would have used just given the time and his profession, and B, given the fact that we can see it in at least one historical photograph of him, we're going to associate a Lancaster repeater with him. So this would have been a Winchester rifle back when, in real life and when he used it, and they looked basically just like this. So we're going to do all the improvements that we can, except for the scope and the wrap. We're not going to put any of those on. The varnish should be the mahogany varnish. There should be no carvings, no engravings, and then the metal should look just like this. Brown steel for the barrel and the trigger, blackened steel for the lever and the hammer, and brass for the frame and the sight. If you do all of that, it will look basically exactly like a real-life Winchester rifle from the time period would. So between the handgun and the repeater, you have both of the iconic weapons for the historical Bass Reeves. So let's move on to the outfit. So we're actually going to be doing two outfits for today, both of them based on historical photographs, but both of them being significantly different from each other. So this is the first one we're going to show you. For the hat, we're going to go with the first variant of the stride hat. For the coat, we're going to be using the everyman jacket, and the 10th variant, this brown checkered variant. In the photograph, you can see that it is checkered and it appears to be sort of a brown color, but it has smaller checkered pattern, but this is as close as we can come, and it still looks pretty dang good. For the vest, we're doing sort of the same thing. We're going to be using this sort of blue and brown checkered variant of the Richfield vest. Again, same thing. He's wearing a checkered vest in the photograph, and it matches the coat pretty well. For the shirt, the clean white everyday overshirt looks exactly like the shirt he's wearing in the photograph. For the weapon equipment, we're just going to be using the plain brown gunslinger gun belt. For the pants, the closest we could come to looking like the ones he had and also matching the outfit is the striped brown variant of the studded pants, so the 9th variant. And then for the boots, we have the 7th variant, these clean brown gaiters. And so looking at them side by side, they look a lot like each other. I guess the only concern I would have, like I said, the vest probably, his real life one probably didn't have any blue on it. It's hard to say, but probably not. And the patterns are all a little bit big. And it's hard to say about the hat. I don't think we have a real great hat to match the one he has in the photograph, but I think the stride hat does a pretty decent job of looking similar to it. So that's why I chose the stride hat. So this is the first Bass Reeves outfit. Like I said, I really like this one. I think it looks really good and a lot like it does in the photograph. Plus, all of the items of it are decently historically accurate for stuff that would have existed and been pretty prominent at the time. So that's the first outfit. Now let's go through the second outfit. So here we have the second outfit based off a different photograph. So let's just go through all the parts that make up this one. So we're going to start with the Kerrigan hat in this first variant. That's a light white one. I think it looks a lot like the hat he's wearing in the photograph. Then for the tie or the neckwear, we're going to be using the dress tie, and I chose the 5th variant. Now the photograph is obviously obviously black and white or grayscale, but it almost appears to have a sort of red tint on the tie, so that's why I went with red. Plus, it looks good with the outfit, so that's why I chose this tie. For the coat, I chose to go with the brakeman jacket, and I'm using this first variant. This was the hardest item to find because, again, in the photograph, he appears to be wearing a decently clean, possibly wool or some really small checkered pattern. It's hard to say, but it looks clean-ish. But basically, I decided to go with this one because it has the right lapels, is approximately the right length, shape, sits the same, and contrasts against the vest and the pants exactly like it does in the photograph. So I think the first variant of the brakeman jacket is the best coat to go with. Then for the vest, I chose to go with the 15th variant of the opulent vest. I think this one works the best and matches the photo the best. If you don't like this one or don't want to spend gold bars on the opulent vest, then the plain black paisley vest would also work. For the shirt, gotta go with the obvious choice, the white everyday shirt. It matches the one from the photograph pretty much perfect. Then for weapon equipment, we're going to be using the black gunslinger gun belt. For the pants, the clean black bandito pants appear to match the ones that he wears in the picture pretty dang well. The cuffs on the bottom might be a little bit big, but in the picture he's wearing pants that go down pretty dang low and do appear to flare out at least a little bit. So I think these pants work the best. Then for the boots, we're going to be wearing the plain black Warren Roper's boots, the sort of worn out ones, and we're going to have them tucked into the pants. And we will not be wearing any spurs because he didn't appear to be wearing any in the photograph, even though in real life while wearing a horse he almost certainly would have been wearing spurs. And so that is our second Bass Reeves outfit. And again, I think this one looks very, very nice, and I think we did a pretty good job of matching it to the photograph. Now, it's hard to tell with black and white photos, you know, exactly what color something may or may not have been. So the best we can do is try to match the contrast or the shades of the different items, and I think this one did a pretty good job. The only questionable-ish thing you could probably say is the hat, and if you don't like this one, then the light white, like, Thacker hat might also work, but I think this, the Kerrigan hat works a little bit better. So that is the second Bass Reeves outfit. So now you have two historical Bass Reeves outfits for your iconic Bass Reeves character. So let's move on to the facial customization to try to make your character look like Bass Reeves. Okay, and so here we have our character. So like always, I'm just going to scroll through and show you all of the different things that I chose to make the character look this way, and also all of the custom sliders to try to get your character to look as much like mine as possible. And I think he looks a lot like Bass Reeves, so it's probably a good format to copy. And so there we have the historical Bass Reeves, and I think the face looks a lot like him. It's probably not perfect, but I think it came pretty dang close. So just a little bit of historical background information about this person. Bass Reeves was an American lawman of the Wild West. He was originally born into slavery in Arkansas. During the Civil War, Bass was taken as a personal servant by George Reeves, who joined the Confederate Army. At some point, Bass managed to escape and gained his freedom. At this time, he headed west and reportedly lived amongst the Cherokee and learned their language and customs. He lived among them until the 13th Amendment was ratified and he was officially free. Bass then became a lawman and had a long career mostly in Arkansas and the Oklahoma Territory. He had a long and successful career as a lawman, becoming the first black U.S. deputy marshal west of the Mississippi. During his career, he had over 3,000 arrests credited to him, and in the performance of his duties, shot and killed 14 men in self-defense. It is suggested that he inspired two fictional characters, both the Lone Ranger and Rooster Cogburn. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.